Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Chad here, and I'm coming to you with what I would consider to be a very special video. This is my first requested video that is not a money minute. Now, in the comments of one of my last videos, which was a take on the new refresh Blue Cash every day, one of the watchers, Derek, requested that I do a video on Amex Trifectas. He also included another topic as well, and just like I said in the comments, I definitely will work on that. Once again, I love the engagement, so I'm really excited to do this. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a different look at trifectas as far as Amex is concerned. But before we do that, if you're getting any value from this, please, please, please make sure you hit the like button. If you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. And hitting the like button definitely works for the YouTube algorithm to get people to see the video that otherwise may not, get it out there amongst the masses, and hopefully I can keep taking off because the channel's growing extra fast, comments are coming in, and that is just great, and it's all because of you. Now, when you clicked on this video, you probably saw, a little mystery there about an alternative to the classic Amex Trifecta. I've actually also done another video about a hybrid trifecta that I formed, but I've since gotten away from that because my credit mix in my wallet has changed. I also did a what's in my wallet video. But as of right now, let's talk about the classic Amex Trifecta, the one everyone knows and loves, the points building machine, the American Express Platinum, the American Express Gold, and the American Express Blue Business Plus. All three of these cards earn Amex MR points. There are no cashback cards in this mix. They are all MR points, and what they're meant to do is cover your spending categories to maximize the amount of points that you earn. And that includes spending categories, that includes Amex offers, and however you can get those MR points. That is the whole point of the trifecta, so that you earn at the very least, 2 MR points for every dollar that you spend. Now the setup, starting from the top to the bottom, has the Amex Platinum, which is a hyper premium travel card. But the multipliers are, unless you get a great Amex offer, which they are known to do, or in some cases, during sign up, sometimes they will give you 10x on restaurants, or they will give you elevated multipliers on certain spending categories that can definitely help speed you along. But for the most part, it's 1 MR point for every purchase except for direct airline flights purchased through the airline or through the Amex travel portal, and hotel stays purchased exclusively through the Amex travel portal. Next, we have the Amex Gold card. The Amex Gold card is a favorite to many. For the most part, a lot of people will refer to it as their workhorse card. And it's because it has 2 very important multipliers that everyone needs. It has 4x on groceries and 4x on restaurants. And everybody eats every day. So for the most part, in the trifecta, you're going to notice that a lot of people are going to always have this card in their wallet because it's something that can be used every single day. And this card, actually, out of all 3, tends to build the most points the fastest. And that's not including any Amex offers that might be tied in with the card that may open things up to another category. Like presently, as of this filming, there's actually an Amex offer that has 5x for Amazon purchases up to 1,500 points, meaning that's $300 worth of spend. And that's it. You just activate it on the card, and now you have 5x at Amazon. So that's the gold, and that's going to be your workhorse card. So now I've covered your premium travel card. I've covered your workhorse card. Now the third one is the Amex Blue Business Plus. Not to be confused with the Blue Business Cash. The Blue Business Plus earns MR points at a rate of 2x per dollar spent on the first $50,000 worth of purchases. So now with the Blue Business card, that's going to act as your catch-all. Anything out of category, and based on this trifecta, anything out of category is essentially going to be, for the most part, anything outside of food and or occasional travel, because Most people aren't traveling every day or even weekly, although some people do for work, but that's just not the normal case for people who hold this trifecta, and it's very popular. So your Blue Business Plus is going to be your catch-all, and a lot of people tend to flock to this trifecta because, once again, it's very popular and it's spoken about on a lot of different mediums, in a lot of different communities, and even here on YouTube. The Amex Trifecta is very well known. Now, speaking of communities, I can't let this go forward without me mentioning a great Discord community that I'm a part of, run by Mark Plymale and Daniel Braun, that I have learned a ton from. I have participated and spoken to some really great people on, and I've included screenshots. I'm going to include a picture here, and I'll definitely include a link to the Discord in my description. Definitely, if you're really serious about getting into this game, you really want to check it out. It is fantastic. It's free to join, and there really is a great core group of people who are there to answer all questions, from the very simple to the very complex. And a lot of people also have a great understanding of credit cards. We talk about stock, talk about real estate. Just, it totally run the gamut to just let you know that there's no question that you can ask there that may possibly go unanswered. But I just want to let you know about that. So here on my channel, I try to think about things differently. I try to see things from a different angle. I try to get to the finish line, maybe not always on the beaten path, but I definitely respect things that have been established. I definitely respect the things that people believe in, because it wouldn't be there if it didn't work. So with the classic trifecta, I've always been respectful of the trifecta. As a matter of fact, I just recently got a gold card, so I actually have the classic Amex Trifecta. So here are some pros. I've already described the cards, but one of the pros is it is a points building machine. And with the benefits that the Platinum card offers and the credits to offset the annual fee, in addition to the benefits and credits that offset the annual fee of the Gold card, which are $6.95 and $2.50 respectively, in addition to building MR points, it's great if you travel. It's great if you eat out at restaurants very frequently. And then also with the Blue Business Plus, which is not a terribly difficult card to get because you don't have to have a Fortune 500 company to get it. You literally need to have a side hustle, and you can apply using your social security number as a sole proprietorship. This has been covered time and time again on YouTube as a catch-all. You just rack the points up. So that is the established old guard, and I don't want anyone to think that I do not have respect for that, because I do, and I'm actually a big fan of Amex. But because I like to see things at a different angle, I've actually come up with an idea of another trifecta after doing some research on the site and looking at some of the spending categories that would be covered. Now, here's my alternative to the classic trifecta. I mean, people can call it the budget trifecta, people can call it whatever they like. But understand, with the traditional trifecta, you are paying almost $1,000 in annual fees to hold 3 cards, which do a great job. But this trifecta is considerably less expensive, although there are a couple of tricks to it, and you have to kind of be a little savvy to understand that this too can build points, but it's for someone in a different situation. Now, the 3 cards that I've looked up and actually mated are, first, the Blue Business Plus, because that's still a mainstay, 0 annual fee, super great card. The second one is the Amex Everyday Preferred card, which has a $95 annual fee, and it has some benefits to it that I'm going to get into in a second. And then the final one is one that a lot of people tend to not really talk about, but I know some great guys who have it, is the Amex Green card, the one who started it all. Now, with the Blue Business Plus, the reason I'm including it is its catch-all capability. Period. It's stable, steady and stable. That card just has to be a part of this because it's going to catch everything we don't catch in all spending categories. And on my last video, there can be quite a few. I didn't touch on all of them, but there are some majors and then they're just plain, depending on your issuer. But the Blue Business Plus has to be a part of the lineup as a catch-all. Once again, it has a 0 annual fee, and at the time of this filming, the sign-up bonus is 15,000 MR points for $3,000 worth of spend in the first 3 months of card membership. Now, the next card in the lineup is the Amex Everyday Preferred. This card covers your grocery spend category and gas spend category at a rate of 3x for grocery spend. Every dollar you spend, you get 3x, and 2x for gas. Now, before you start looking crazy about the 2x, let me get to the point, and then beyond that, it's 1x for everything else. But the magic of this card is the points boost. If you use this card 30 times in a month, physically slide the card, use the card, average of once a day, you get a 50% points boost. So what does that mean? That means that if you satisfy that 3% becomes 4.5% or 4.5x, which actually beats the gold card, whose annual fee is $150 more, around $150 more than the Everyday Preferred. So now you're getting 4.5x on groceries. And now the 50% points boost actually puts your gas purchases, it takes them from 2x to 3x. And then also, just in case you bump your head and you get a 50% points boost and you, for some reason, lose your Blue Business Plus or don't use it, that 1x catch-all is now 1.5x. The Amex Everyday Preferred has an annual fee of $95. And the current sign-up bonus, as of this filming, is 15,000 MR points for $2,000 worth of spend in 6 months. That is cake. It's just cake. It's just easy. And finally, we have the old school Amex Green Card. The Amex Green Card is going to cover other categories not covered by the other two. And one of those categories is going to be 3x on transit and 3x on restaurants. It's also going to cover 3x on travel expenses and 1x on everything else. Now, the 3x on transit actually covers a lot of things like parking garages, Ubers, Lyfts, transit, how you get to places, moving your body around, public transit and things of that nature, including parking. That is fantastic, especially if you're in an urban area. So 3x on transit is great. The 3x on restaurants, obviously, you got to eat. Now, mind you, doesn't beat the 4x of the gold in the classic trifecta, but 3x, 4x, there's a negligible difference there, but it's still better than nothing. And the 3x on travel is actually pretty good because this doesn't require you to go through the Amex portal. You can purchase a room directly from a hotel website. You can rent a car directly from the car rental place, and you're actually going to get this 3x as opposed to it being locked up in a portal. And that even counts for like airline tickets and places. So if you do travel, this actually has a fallback. It doesn't match the point building potential of the classic trifecta, but it actually still is very useful. And with that said, the annual fee for the Amex Green Card is $150. And as of this filming, the sign-up bonus is 40,000 MR points for $2,000 worth of spend in 6 months again. Doesn't that sound familiar? And it's just as easy as the everyday. At this point, depending on what your lifestyle is, some people can actually do the sign-up bonuses for the Everyday Preferred and the Green Card at the same time and will hit it without really breaking a sweat. So wrapping up, I've listed all the public offers for these cards, but now we have an alternate trifecta that weighed against the cost of the classic trifecta, which is $945 every year. We now have a trifecta that's $245 And I mean, I am not the highest grade of green leafy substance in the horticultural facility, but I know that 245 is less than 945. Now, in addition to that, we have to look at all the categories that are covered. Once again, the classic trifecta is known to build points at a staggering rate. That's because you have a lot of credits and things that can help you and inspire you to use the cards. But really and truly, the spending categories that are covered by the classic trifecta don't really measure up to this alternate, which I'm going to call the everyday trifecta for the everyday person. Maybe you're not a traveler, maybe you're not a baller, but this is what I'm going to call it, the everyday trifecta. So with the classic trifecta, you have travel, which is covered in a sense. You have restaurants, which is covered. You have groceries, which are covered. And then everything else with the Blue Business Preferred. Now with the everyday trifecta, you have restaurants, you have groceries, you have travel, you have transit, you have gas purchases, and a catch-all in the Blue Business Preferred, which really and truly, while the multipliers may be lower, understand it covers more everyday categories that most people are going to spend and swipe their cards on. Plus, you have the added power of the points boost of the everyday preferred. Now, the sign-on bonuses also are much lower than you'll get with the Amex Platinum, the Amex Gold, and well, not the Blue Business Preferred because it's in both lineups, but understand if you're working up to that classic trifecta, this might be a great way to go. And in addition to that, you can actually use a downgrade path to go from the classic trifecta, if your situation changes, to the everyday trifecta with not a lot of hurt. You know what I mean? It's very much so in the path because the green, you can actually downgrade from the gold to the green. And then there's the everyday card, which is out of the charge card family, but granted, if you have a classic trifecta, I don't see you having a problem getting the everyday preferred card unless you, for some reason, have hit the limit of credit cards that you can hold by Amex. But I'm going to close it up, and I appreciate you coming through the video. I appreciate the request for the video. Shout out to Derek. I hope he watches this. I hope he finds value with it. I hope everyone finds some value in it. And as always, please keep the comments coming. Please like, share, subscribe. Once again, just got to hammer that home for the YouTube algorithm and let you know that I appreciate every person that comes here. And also, I appreciate you if you stayed to the end of this video. And until next time, I'll catch you later.